Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a really fun, sustainable, and eco-friendly project, making our own Unpaper towels. Okay, so today the supplies you're going to need are very simple. You're going to need a pair of scissors, you're going to need some pins or some clips. And then what I have done is I've decided to make 32, I'm not gonna make 32 with you guys, but I'm gonna make one to show you how to do it. But for my kitchen, I'm gonna make 32 of these Unpaper towels. The really fun part is you can make as many as you want. You could just try a couple and see if you like it, but it's really nice to get kind of just a big stash of stuff in your kitchen, or of Unpaper towels in your kitchen, so you can put them all in the basket and they're just quick, easy to grab. You can find the Unpaper towels that come on a roll, like an actual paper towel roll, and they snap together and you roll them out. But I find when my hands are really gross, maybe I'm cooking or I've just got something really gross on them, to grab one of those and to try to unsnap both ends and pull it off the paper towel roll, it's kind of just a hassle. And so I like just keeping all of my Unpaper towels in a basket. So today I've decided to do 32 of these Unpaper towels, and I'm using a top fabric and a bottom fabric. So for the top fabric, I'm using cotton, and today I've chosen just a pattern that's going to fit really well with my kitchen, with this gray and seafoam green and turquoise. And then all I've done is cut them out to a 5x7 length, and you guys can make them bigger. I wouldn't probably go any smaller than this, just because once you wash them, they're going to shrink just a tiny bit. It's really good to wash both the washcloths, or I mean the terry cloths, and the cotton fabric before you do this, but they will still shrink a little bit because you're going to be using them all the time, right? So cut your top fabric out to 5x7, and then I've also cut this terry cloth. And the way I got all these colors in this terry cloth is I just went to Walmart and I bought a pack of 18 washcloths for $4. That was it. And I got this size, this 5x7 size. I got 2 of these sizes out of one washcloth. So that was pretty cool. That was nice to just kind of get, you know, a nice variety. And they come in different colors, so whatever colors, if you want just white, if you want colored, but I thought this time I would try a variety. So today I'm gonna make one of these with you guys, and we'll see how it turns out. And if you love it, it's also a great scrap buster if you're a seamstress, or you like to sew, or you just have a bunch of fabrics laying around and they're all really small pieces and you don't know whether to quilt them or what to do with them. This would be a really great project for that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of my top fabrics here from my pile. Set those off to the side. The only thing I will say about using terry cloth is it's really kind of, you get like these little pieces of terry cloth everywhere. So just kind of get used to that. But let's use a dark color, just so you guys can kind of see it and it will show up well. But yeah, you can kind of see the terry cloth coming out here. Once these get sewn, right, the only reason it's doing that, it's shedding, is because I've cut it. So it doesn't have a finished edge, but once we put this together, you won't have that terry cloth kind of fluff going everywhere. So all you need to do is just decide which side you want to be your top side. So I'm gonna say this is like my pretty side, this is the side that's gonna show. And then I'm gonna take the pretty side of my cotton. So you can see it's a little bit faded, that's the wrong side, and that's the pretty side, and I'm gonna lay it right on top. So I want right sides facing right sides. And I'm just gonna line those up like so. Try to get them as best as you can. And then I'm gonna start pinning. The nice thing about these Unpaper towels, right, is they're eco-friendly. So there's no waste. They are reusable, so you just wash them in your washing machine. And it's not going to take a bunch of effort, you guys. Really, you just put a load, like a small load on once a week, or you could even wash them with your towels if you wanted to, if they weren't too, too grody. I like to wash my kitchen, all my kitchen like sponges and washcloths and hand towels and that kind of stuff separate from like my socks and underwear and towels. That's just me. That's just kind of how I work. But these would also make really good gifts. Like if you made some for yourself and you loved it, these would be a really nice gift for somebody. I think I'm going to make another video too on how to make like a hand towel that snaps around your oven handle to keep it from falling on the floor. But okay, so here we go. We've got this all pinned out, and so now I'm just going to take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to leave probably like 1.5 inch gap open and back stitch at both ends. Okay, so now I've got this stitched all the way around the edges. It's real simple, there's no rounded corners. You just pivot. Right when you get to your corner here, you lift your presser foot and you pivot and you keep going, and then I've back stitched at my openings here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my scissors. I'm just gonna start here. I want to leave this salvage end right here. So where it's open, I don't want to cut that down. So I want to leave that at a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, whatever it is that you decide. But the rest here, I want to kind of trim this off and trim off at my corners. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that real quick. Careful not to cut my stitching. Okay, get my scraps out of the way. So now I'm going to clear all this little terry cloth fluff out of here. And so that's all clean. And we still have, you know, this unfinished edge, but we're going to go ahead and flip this inside out. And you just kind of use your fingers to do this. It's not a real rush process. Be gentle. You don't want to pull out your stitches here where your turning hole is. And then I just kind of take my thumb into that corner and use my middle finger, and I just kind of poke that corner out. Come in here. Do it again on the next one. If you want to take like a pencil or something that has like kind of a sharp end, not too sharp to go through your fabric, but maybe like an orange peeler or a pencil. And I just kind of come through here, and I'm just kind of like rolling this and just kind of working it out and make sure that my fabric, you know, there's no extra fabric tucked in here into the seam. And I'm just kind of finger pressing it right now. And then you can see here that like this is where my turning hole is. So my cotton terry is sticking out a little bit. And then here's the extra fabric from my topper. So I'm gonna put these in together, and they should just kind of fit real nicely. And then I kind of come through here and finger press that. Okay. So now, see, I'm blowing all this terry cloth out of here, but so now all the unfinished edge is inside. So now you shouldn't have any more of that terry cloth. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my iron, just a piece of fabric to iron on for this purpose since I've got my iron here real close to me. And I'm gonna go ahead and just give this a nice press with some steam. Love to iron, you guys. Ironing is the key to a good project. Okay, nothing too crazy, just one side. And now I'm gonna take this to the sewing machine again, and I'm gonna sew right where my hole started. So I'm gonna do a back stitch, and I'm just gonna do a straight stitch all the way to the corner, lift my presser foot, pivot, and continue to do that all the way until I reach my stitches again. Okay, so go ahead and get your fabric up to your sewing machine and start with the back stitch and go all the way around. Okay guys, so there we have it. Nothing to it, right? One thing to remember when you're stitching this outside stitch here. This is like a secure stitch just to keep it nice in the wash. You can come through here if you want and stitch an X on the top just to keep your layers from coming apart like this when you wash it. I might end up doing that after, you know, making so many of them. I might end up doing that. But I'm gonna go ahead and come through here, and I'm gonna cut my tails off, my threads from the front and from the back. Okay, and then you can see my stitching along here. A couple tips when you're going through the machine and working with terry cloth. Your machine is not, my machine at least, most machines are not really gonna like this terry cloth. And so it's really important to just like take your time, and if you find that you need to make your stitch length, so that's how close your stitches are when they're going, so that's how close they are. That's your stitch length. So you might want to elongate that a little bit and make your stitches not so close together. That might kind of help with the stitching, but just have fun with it, and you know, don't get stressed out. It's a fun project. And look, now you have an unpaper towel, or you could use this for a napkin. I like to put the plate on the table when I set the table for dinner. And then I use this as a napkin and I can put a fork and a knife on it. But they're just really fun to make. And so I'm really excited to insert a photo of all these Unpaper towels finished here. 32 of them. But I hope you guys give this a go. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment below and like and subscribe my channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye!